Hey, in an effort to try some new content and to be even more helpful to you, my audience, I am going to introduce a new type of video, at least for my channel. I've done this before where I do reactions, but I want to make this a recurring theme. So if you like this, let me know and I will keep doing it. And if you don't like it, let me know and I will stop. But today we're going to look at a video that is a really, really good breakdown of how to blow up on YouTube. Let's go ahead. This is Dylan Reynolds.
Quit right before they blow up. But what if most YouTubers quit right before they blow up? But what if I told you that you're closer than you think to blowing up? There are 6 major signs that almost every successful.
So the premise here is that on YouTube, you want to blow up. And I'm guessing you do. I've been doing the YouTube thing since 2018. That was when my very first video was put out. I've ran 3 channels, 2 of which are online businesses, this being one of them. So YouTube blowing up for me typically means more leads to my email address, more leads to my email list, which means more conversions and sales for my business. So if you're using YouTube for business, blowing up can be helpful. Where I've cautioned against blowing up being the one goal that you have is that you can blow up in a way that is detrimental to the success of your business. And that is if you blow up by reaching people that aren't actually your target. This is why I talk a lot about being very focused on who your target audience is, because if you don't reach your actual target audience, then it can be like blowing up can work against you. And I've done this before where I have had videos that because I was chasing a trend, I've had videos that have blown up and I had an influx of people to my channel that were like, oh, this was great. Let's see more of this. And then they come back for the rest of it and they're like, well, the thing that you got me here with is not really what you're doing. And so I'm out. And that's actually worked against my channel. So the biggest caution that I would have is that if you're using YouTube as an end in itself, in other words, if you're just trying to grow on YouTube for the sake of growing a large YouTube channel, then by all means, make blowing up on YouTube your end all be all goal. But if your goal is to use YouTube for business, then proceed with caution, like blow up in the right way, blow up among the people who love you, love your channel, love your content, and want to see more of it. If you blow up with those people, you're on the right track.
Full YouTubers saw before they skyrocketed. And if you're seeing these 6 things, you're on the verge of something big. So keep going. But first you need to understand.
Okay, I do agree that a lot of YouTubers do quit too soon. And I would extend this to online business owners. And this has been like something that I have been saying for so long. So many people get into online business and they'll start a YouTube channel or they'll get on Instagram, they'll start doing content somewhere and they'll immediately go, it's not working instantly. Like I'm not getting traction right away. Therefore, something must be wrong with this process. Something must be wrong with me. And so either they stop and they're just like, I'm going to go back to, living my life, or they bounce around to a different platform. So they'll be like, well, it didn't work on YouTube. Let me go try on TikTok. Well, it didn't work on TikTok. Let me go try on Instagram. And they aren't really getting traction anywhere. And I firmly believe for most people who have an online business where you are trying to build an audience around a particular category, a category that you are teaching. In other words, you're trying to share information online. There is no better place than YouTube to do that. And so if you're on YouTube and you're like, man, I've been grinding for so long and nothing's working, you probably are going to quit too soon. If you let that get inside your head, you're going to quit too soon and it's going to kill the momentum that you could have had. I fully agree with that.
And the worst thing you could possibly do right now is quit.
Amen.
You need to watch this entire video because you might be one video away from everything changing for you. Now, a lot of people think that success on YouTube happens.
I remember when by the way, I'm going to interrupt this video a lot. So if that makes you mad, it's just the way it is. You have to, or else you get in trouble. So when I remember my first online business, Preaching Donkey, I had a friend over, and this was like Labor Day weekend. And I had a friend over, we're, cooking hot dogs, and he was asking me about my business and my YouTube channel. And at this point, it was not full time. It was barely making any money. I had about 400 subscribers on that YouTube channel. Didn't have a course yet. I had a book, but no course yet. And he was asking me like, how is it going? And I was like, well, I would love to have, like, I think I said 800 subscribers by the end of the year. So this was September, it was around Labor Day here in the US. And I was like, by the end of the year, if I could double my subscribers to 800, that would just be amazing. 2 weeks later, I posted a video that got 100,000 views in a week. And the reason why it got 100,000 views in a week, it was because it was focused and targeted on a specific issue that was happening, and people were talking about it right then and there. It was in the news, in that niche, in that space. It was like people were going to YouTube, searching for it, Googling it, looking it up. So my video happened to hit at the exact right time. And so over the course of a week, I had 2,100 new YouTube subscribers come in. So my numbers went from 400 to 2,500. So 2,100 new people, so 2,500 total within a week. And about 800 people added to my email list. So people went from that YouTube video, clicked on my lead magnet, and joined my email list within a week. So what I thought was going to take me until the end of the year just to double ended up quintupling. It grew by 5x in a week. So you really are sometimes like one video away from truly like everything changing for your YouTube channel. And if you do it right, your online business.
Overnight. But every creator who blew up saw clear signals before it actually happened. And if you're watching this, chances are you're already doing better than you think. But before I break down the 6 signs, there's one huge mindset shift that separates struggling YouTubers from those who explode in growth. And despite what you might think, it has nothing to do with luck. See, if you understand just one key principle about YouTube growth, everything changes.
I'm curious what he's going to say, because I feel like luck plays a role. I just do. I'm not saying like it's not luck when it comes down to working a system that makes you money over time and building a business. That is not luck. That is work. That is a system, and it works. Where the luck comes in is the blowing up. Like blowing up on YouTube, so many things have to line up. So I'm curious what he's going to say, because I feel like you could make the argument for luck, but I don't know. We'll see what he says.
Forget about everything you've heard about beating the algorithm. Because here's the thing, YouTube's algorithm isn't some mysterious force. And you guys have heard me say this before on this channel. It's just people. So if you know how to package your content, your title, your thumbnail, and your video itself in a way that speaks directly to a specific audience's pain points, your growth is inevitable.
Yeah, I agree. If you can get your YouTube channel to consistently signal to the right people that their problem is going to be solved by watching your video and then watching another one and then watching another one and then watching another one, growth is inevitable, and creating raving fans is inevitable. The problem is, or I guess the challenge is, that is so much easier said than done. It is like so much easier said than done, because there is a temptation, at least if you think like I do, there's a temptation to think, okay, well, if I reach over here and reach for this kind of category because it's hot right now, or I reach over there, or if I double down on, so there's like this tendency to experiment. And I did this for a long time, where most of my business and most of my YouTube channel was a collection of experimentation, and I would just double down on what works. And to a large degree, I actually recommend this as like a normative thing. But what I don't recommend is doing it at the expense of the person that you're trying to reach. And I did this at first, where I would make videos that really weren't even directed to my target audience, but I just thought they would grow my channel. And I just thought, well, in the end, everything will work out as long as the channel grows. All I wanted was more views and more subscribers. And I figured everything else would work itself out. And I was wrong about that. If I could go back, I wish I would never have done that. Because the people who came in for videos that have nothing to do with my niche and watched and subscribed never came back. And ultimately that hurt my channel. But you live and you learn, and that's why I'm here to share it with you.
And that brings me to the first sign. And the first sign is you understand the psychology of content. If you're watching this channel, it means you already care about strategy. But the biggest shift happens when you realize YouTube isn't about you. It's about your audience. Every single video that blows up solves a specific problem or desire.
Yeah, I agree with that. YouTube isn't about you, it's about your audience, and you have to understand the psychology of content. If you think about your own behavior on YouTube, you go to YouTube not because you just want to support someone's channel and their their dreams and goals and aspirations. You go because you want to be entertained, you want to be educated, you want to think, you want to be challenged, you want to have your biases confirmed, whatever the case. Like, you're going there because you have some kind of need you're looking to be solved, and you're not thinking about what is this person's, Dylan Reynolds. I'm not looking at him going, what are his hopes and dreams and aspirations? I don't really care. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy, like, whatever. But to the extent that the video is helpful, and the same reason why you're watching right now, if you're still watching, you're thinking, okay, this Lane guy and vis-a-vis this Dylan guy, like, if there's something in here for me that can help me blow up my channel, I'm going to keep watching. And the second you feel like there's not, you're going to bounce. And that's just the way it is. And the faster you realize that, the easier it gets to continue this journey on YouTube and make things work for you. All right, so let's keep going and hear what else he has to say.
It's entertainment, education, inspiration, you name it. It must hit a deep emotional need of some sort in some way, shape, or form. In fact, think about Mr. Beast, right? His videos aren't just super expensive challenges. They tap into curiosity. They tap into surprise. They tap into high stakes. The creators who blow up start thinking like their audience. And once you can do that, once you understand that, your content starts getting recommended and clicked on like crazy. Now, sign number 2 is your watch time and retention are increasing. YouTube's number 1 priority is keeping people watching for longer, keeping them on their platform. So if you're...
Yeah, okay, so watch time and retention is huge. If you're not looking at this stat in your analytics, you really should, and you really should look at it with every video. YouTube will tell you, it will say like your average viewer retention is like 4 minutes and 56 seconds per video. And then it will say this video did better or did worse or right in line. And so you can see, like, okay, if you have a video that gets 6 minutes of retention, average retention, that's great. Or 6 minutes of watch time, that's really great. Or if it gets 3 and your average is 4 minutes and 56 seconds, that's not so great. So you can kind of measure against that. And then retention is how long do they keep watching? Like, what is there's a retention chart, retention graph that you can look at in your analytics to see in the first 30 seconds, how many people are still watching, the last 30 seconds, how many people are still watching, what are the peaks and what are the dips. And one of my friends in online business, his name is Aaron Young, and he runs the largest channel out there right now on Google Ads. And you can look him up. I was talking to him the other day, and he's just hit 100,000 subscribers, and now he's even past that. He's doing awesome. And he said his first couple years on YouTube, he just nerded out on these particular metrics. When do people drop off? When do they keep watching? How long do they watch before they drop? What causes them to drop off? What causes them to keep watching? And one of the things he noticed was that if he pitches his lead magnet too early in the video, people drop off. If he pitches it too late, not enough people see it. So his sweet spot is somewhere between 2 minutes and 4 minutes to actually bring up, like, hey, I've got something for you. You can download it right here. By the way, I've got something for you. LaneSebring.com/super simple. If you want to build not just a YouTube channel, but a business where you're using something like YouTube as an engine that drives traffic to your email list that you can convert into sales, all done automatically in the background of your life, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get my free guide. It's over at LaneSebring.com/super simple. It's my super simple guide to starting a thriving online business. You can grab it today, right now, for free. Read through it. It will give you the 6 steps that I used to make my business a multiple 6-figure online business that really set me free, which was pretty cool. Let's keep going.
Average watch time and retention rate are going up. YouTube sees that as a green light to push your content further because it means your audience or the people watching like it. And YouTube wants more people to stay on their platform for longer. So if someone watches your video for longer, i.e. keeping them on the platform for longer, then YouTube will be like, oh, this is good, right? The people watching this person's video, they like it. They're staying on YouTube for longer because of it. So let's push this content out. Now, even small improvements mean you're on the right track. So if you're holding attention longer than before or prior videos, you're closer than you think. You're closer than you think to blowing up. And that leads me to sign number 3, right? Your click-through rate, or CTR. It's pretty solid. Let me ask you a question. Do you know why you clicked on this video right now? It wasn't right.
So by the way, click-through rate is a measurement of how many people see your video to how many people actually click on it. So how many people see your video in some way, that's called an impression in YouTube world. So let's say you get 100 impressions, and for every 100 people who see it, who have an impression, 3 people click on it. If that's the case, you would have a 3% click-through rate. If you have 5 people click on it, you have a 5% click-through rate. Typically, when you first put out a video, your click-through rate is going to be the highest, and then it's going to drop over time. And the reason why that happens is YouTube is going to show it to more and more people, ideally, and as they show it to more people, a smaller percentage click on it. So if you don't have a high click-through rate when you first put out a video, it's a pretty good sign that it's going to continue to do bad. So you really want that click-through rate the first few hours that the video is out to be as high as possible. And for most channels, a high click-through rate is like 10%, 10, 12%. That's pretty high. And then it's gonna taper down off to 6, 5, 6%, 4%. And then if it's really not good, it's going to be like 1 to 2 to 3%.
Random. It was the title and thumbnail that likely got you to click, right?
Yeah. So he said, why did you click on this video? You clicked on it for 2 reasons: the title and the thumbnail. 100%. People, it's kind of like a book. So when you look at a book, when you look at a nonfiction book, the title of the book is really the hook. Okay. The subtitle is the promise. This is how books work. I've written 2 books, one of which was a #1 bestseller in its category on Amazon. And if you do this right, when somebody reads the title of the book, it should hook them. But it doesn't explain everything, but it hooks them. It gets their attention. They go, that's interesting. The subtitle is giving that promise of the book. It's like, if you were to read this book, here's what you're going to get out of it. So for example, my first book, which I will show you right here, it is this book right here. So this book, the title, the hook, Preaching Killer Sermons, okay? Doesn't explain everything, doesn't explain exactly what that means, but you're smart if you're looking at this and you're in my target audience for this business. This was Preaching Donkey, not Lane Sebring, but I wrote it. But my point is, before Lane Sebring, the brand, ever came along, I had a business called Preaching Donkey. I wrote this book, Preaching Killer Sermons. Now, the subtitle, How to Create and Deliver Messages That Captivate and Inspire. So that's the promise. Right? In this book, I'm going to show you how to create, that's like write, and then deliver, that's preach, messages that captivate and inspire. So if you want to captivate and inspire people, I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, what does that have to do with YouTube? Well, in the YouTube world, your the thumbnail is like the book title. It plays the same role. It's the hook. It's the first thing they see. It's got to be interesting enough for someone to go, that looks like something I might want to click on. But then the title is where the promise comes in. The title of the YouTube video is like the subtitle of a book, where it's like, if you click on this, here's what you're going to get. I think where people mess up is where they try to explain everything in the thumbnail. The problem with explaining, and I used to do this, where I'd have 1 million words in the thumbnail that was like just a regurgitation of the title. The thumbnail has to be, it's got to be poppy, it's got to be interesting, it's got to be intriguing, it's got to create some kind of curiosity, and it can't have so many words on it that it takes a long time to read or is a challenge to read, because people are just going to keep scrolling. It's got to stop the scroll long enough for them to read the title. So for this video, I saw the thumbnail and then I looked down and I said, 6 signs you're going to blow up on YouTube. Keep going. And honestly, what got me to click was the words "keep going" in parentheses, because what it signaled to me is, you may not be there yet. You may not even believe that it's possible, but if you keep going, it'll happen. So that's why it's so important to do it this way.
package. A CTR or click-through rate above 5% is a massive indicator that people want to watch your content. I check this every 24 hours, typically, more or less, after posting. And you can do this yourself. You can easily find this data by going into your YouTube studio, go onto the video's specific analytics, go to reach, and then you'll see your CTR or your click-through rate. Now take this with a grain of salt, of course, because your CTR ratio compared to your impressions has a big part to play here. That's much more advanced. So generally speaking, most of the time, a good CTR is above 5%. If it's below 5%, then it's time to probably change your thumbnail or your title. Now, by doing this and making improvements, even small incremental improvements, each video, and seeing your CTR go up, improving or not, even slightly, you're learning the most powerful skill in YouTube growth: how to make people click. Okay, and that leads me to sign number 4, which is you're getting more comments and shares. Now, when people engage, when they comment, when they...
I watched a video by Callaway that I'm going to react to at some point in our little sessions here together, if you like them. By the way, if you're liking this, tell me in the comments. Say, yes, I like it. This is great. Keep going. And maybe subscribe and hit the like button, all that stuff. But one of the things that he mentioned in a video that I watched today about how to grow a cult-like following is he said that people who have a cult-like following, their audience members don't just watch, but they share. It's like they know that they want to share what you're doing with someone else, right? And when I think about people that I have followed that have made a big impact on me, I think the very first thing I want to do is tell my friends about them. Like, that's what I want to do. I look at them and I go, this is someone that, oh man, this person needs to know about this person, right? Like, this person needs to be known about. My friends need to know about this person because they need to have this person's influence in their life. They need to be impacted the way I have. And if people are doing that about you, they're commenting, but also sharing, then you are well on your way to a cult-like following. You're well on your way to not just, people who watch your videos sometimes, but people who like love you and want to follow you. All right, let's keep going.
Share, it means your content's pretty much hitting home, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I only ever comment if I absolutely loved a video or something specific about that video, right? And creators don't blow up because of the algorithm. Again, you'll hear me say this so much. They blow up because their audience pushes their content further. Of course.
Yes. Yeah, he's right. Mr. Beast talks about this a lot too, where people will act like the algorithm is this kind of like magical, etherical God, that just bestows favor on some and curses others. And the truth is, he said, the algorithm is really just a reflection of people. Did people like your video? Did people watch your video? Did they comment on your video? Did they share your video? If they didn't, you're not going to grow. If they did, you will.
I'm being slightly dramatic and over-exaggerating, so take that with a grain of salt. Overall, the moment people start discussing, sharing, and reacting to your videos, YouTube takes notice. And that's when you start to scale. And that leads me to sign number 5, which is you're posting consistently. Now listen, it's not about posting daily. It's about posting consistently. Even small, steady growth means you're gaining traction. Okay. If you're seeing a steady rise in subscribers, even 10 to 50 per day, even 1 per day, right? You are building momentum. Most creators give up right before this momentum turns into an explosion. Remember that. And that leads me to my...
Yeah. What I love about this idea is that you will watch your subscriber count be very steady for a long time, where you're, like he said, 5 a day, 10 a day, 1 a day, 3 a day. And you might think like, oh, at this rate, it's going to take me forever to get to 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers. And then one day you have, because you didn't stop. I like to say, never stop, never stopping. You just never stopped. And all of a sudden you have a video that takes off. And because one video takes off, you get an influx of subscribers. And then because of that, a lot of your old videos get viewed and you get more subscribers. And it turns into this snowball going down a hill that just grows. And you can't predict it. You just can't stop before it happens.
6th and final sign, which is you feel like quitting, but you keep going. This is the biggest one because every successful YouTuber wanted to quit at some point in time. But the ones who made it, they didn't quit. Ali Abdaal, Mr. Beast, Ryan Trahan, they all had moments.
Yep. Listen to him. Dylan Reynolds, go watch his video. He's right. You cannot stop. If you stop prematurely, and here's the thing, if you have goals, if you have aspirations, if you want to make a business, if you want to make it grow, if you want to get it to 6 figures, if you want to get it to multiple 6 figures, there is no better way to do that than with a YouTube channel that people are watching and engaged with. Because the amount of trust you can build over time on YouTube, getting people from YouTube into your community, your email list, into your offers, there's absolutely nothing out there like it. So don't give up. Don't stop. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And let me know if you like this format, because it's pretty easy to do and I like it. So if you like it, I'm still going to do everything else. Got a video coming out tomorrow about how to use ChatGPT to grow on YouTube. And then I have a video coming out on Friday about mistakes to avoid with ChatGPT. And I have a bunch of shorts coming out. I'm doing a whole lot more content. So if you like it, let me know and I'll do this more. All right, see ya.